The Minnesota Housing Finance Agency has announced their new income limits for the MHFA startup program for 2024. These limits change every year, typically late May, early June, something like that. So the limits we discuss in this video are going to be good for the startup program through late May of 2025. The program has maximum income limits, and the reason for that is that it's really a needs-based program, so it's not available to just anybody. You do need to be a first-time home buyer, although the definition of first-time home buyer is that you haven't owned any real estate that you have occupied within the last 36 months. So if you had owned a home previously, but it was more than 36 months ago, you're okay. Or if you own real estate that you do not occupy, and haven't occupied it within the last 36 months, you are still considered a first-time home buyer. Everybody that is on the loan needs to be a first-time home buyer in order to qualify for the MHFA startup program. So who counts? Some programs will count everybody in the household or just the people that are entitled. With MHFA Startup, it's an interesting program that way in that it is only the borrower that qualifies unless the borrower is married and the spouse is occupying with them. In that case, then we need to count both. If there is a non-occupant cosigner, so you've got parents that are cosigning your loan for you, we do not count their income in the startup income limits. Or if you are living with somebody who is not married or have many people in the house and you're not married to any of them, then it's only going to be you or the borrower and anybody else who is on title. And by that I mean if you are buying the house, there's two people on the loan, two people going to own the property, then in that case both of those people, regardless whether they're married or not, need to fit into the startup income limits. So what are they for 2024? Well, the startup income limits are broken down by region and then also by household. So or household size. So if the household size is two people or less, it's one set of incomes, and then if it's three people or more, then it's another set. So for the Twin Cities area of Minnesota, it's $124,200 for a family of two or less, and then it's $142,800 for families above three people who are occupying the property. If you move down to Dodge and Olmsted counties, now it's $117,200 for two people or less, and $134,700 for three or more. Then all other counties in Minnesota are $111,800 or $128,500. I'm going to put a list of the counties that are considered the metro area. I'll put those in the description below. Now, it's important to understand that when we're counting MHFA startup income, when we're calculating it to see if you earn too much, we count all income, whether we're using it for qualifying or not. Here's what I mean by that. Let's say that you've got a base salary and a commission, but you've only been earning the commission for the last 3 months. The commission is not able to be used for qualifying, but it has to be used when it comes to the compliance income. So if you've earned $1,000 a month over those 3 months, now MHFA will look at it and say that you're going to earn about $12,000 from those commissions. It's forward looking, so it's a projection of what all income in the household is. Or if you have let's say you just recently started driving for Lyft or Uber, that income also can't use it to qualify if you haven't been doing it for 2 years, but we do need to count it in the compliance income, and that counts for everybody that is countable. So the person that's on the loan, or the person or people that are on the loan, and then any occupying spouses. Now, what if you earn more than the MHFA startup income limits? Well, a little known fact is that the Step Up program, so MHFA has two programs, the Startup and the Step Up. We're talking about Startup. I'm going to put a link in the description below on my video on Step Up income limits. But if you earn too much, and you qualify as a first-time home buyer on startup, but your income is too high, now the Step Up program has an exception that you can be a first-time home buyer and choose that program if your income is too high, and for the startup program. And those incomes are higher, $185,700 in the Twin Cities, as well as Dodge and Olmsted counties, and then $167,100 in all other counties. Now that's a discussion about the startup program itself. But what about the down payment assistance programs? If you're going to MHFA, you're really going there because of the down payment assistance programs. They have different kind of income limits. So they've basically got four programs. The first one that is new for 2024 is their first generation homebuyer down payment assistance program, which is awesome, but you need to be a first generation homebuyer for it. The income limits for that program will match whatever the startup program income limits are. It's the only one like that. The other program have their own limitations. It's the only program like that in the MHFA startup family of down payment assistance programs. They've got three other programs. One is called the Deferred Payment Loan and the Deferred Payment Loan Plus. The Deferred Payment Loan currently is $16,500. Deferred Payment Loan Plus is $18,000. So a little bit of a difference there. There's a few qualifiers that your family needs to meet in order to qualify for that extra $1,500. We'll discuss that in another video. I'll put a link in the description below on that one as well. Those income limits, I'm not going to read through them all, but they are defined by household size. So 1 to 2 people is $89,000. So as we looked at, you qualify for the startup program at $124,200, but if you want to qualify for the deferred payment loan program, that one has separate income limits, and you would have to meet those in order to qualify for the deferred payment loan programs. Either one of them are the same, and those range in 1 to 2 people is like I said, is $89,000, and then if there's 8 people or more in your household, and that's $142,800. Again, that will all be in the description below, so that it's easy for you to find that. Those income limits also change, so depending on when you're watching this video, I encourage you to reach out to me, and I'll update you as to what the income limits are if you're watching at a future date. And then not to be ignored is the monthly payment loan. So let's, if you earn above the limits for the deferred payment loan, but under the limits of the MHFA startup loan, now you would possibly qualify for the monthly payment loan. And that one's a little bit less advantageous in some ways because you need to pay it off. You need to pay it off with, you need to pay it off with a monthly payment. So it's paid off over a 10-year time frame. And you can get up to $17,000 presently with that loan, but it does increase the level of your monthly payment. But it is a choice, So if you're in that income range of $110,000 and it's 2 people in the household, you can use the monthly payment loan, still get down payment assistance, which can reduce your cash out of pocket to buy the house to as little as $1,000. That's crazy, but that is true of each of these down payment assistance programs. All you have to do is put in $1,000 of your own money. Down payment assistance can make up the rest if it fits for the property you're buying. So the MHFA startup program has new income limits for 2025. They're very similar to what they were last year. Oftentimes we see a distinct difference from year to year. And the way you count that income gets to be a little crazy. And so you can try it on your own, but oftentimes when I'm talking to buyers, they are scratching their heads as to why we have to count some income and not others. But when it comes to the MHFA startup program, that's the income limits. Hey, I'm Peter Lindquist with the Lindquist team at Guaranteed Rate. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and share it with anybody you know. And if you've got any comments or questions, be sure to leave them in the comments below. I'd be glad to reach back out to you with any kinds of questions, whether it's about the startup program, the down payment assistance programs, or really anything related to mortgages. Thanks, and I hope you're having a great day.